How I caught my own grandpa.
Hello,
This video is about Oma.
hi, this is Kaiser. You probably may have seen my sister's videos, but I'm using my sister's account, and in order to use her account, I have to be a parent.
This 144p audio, bro. I can't hear anything he just said.
Imagine being halfway across the country at 13 years old, alone with only your little sister and a grandparent you barely know.
Hope you like the video.
But what you do know is you just accidentally found a crap load of CP. And the man who holds it, your own grandfather, is your only way home.
What? What the fuck?
You may have seen some comments in the past calling out my absolute honker ears. Hell, this one's even deformed. But even with my big deformed ears, you know what fits better than anything? What fits wonderfully? Raycon Everyday Ergonomic Earbuds fit like an absolute beaut, no matter what time to make an Oma origin story video. Then just plus free shipping.
W Raycon.
Apologies for the dramatic intro. I wasn't exactly sure how to start off a video like
Bro,
this.
I'm
But
not-
Hey, as I near a million subscribers, I figure what better time to make an Oma
not
origin
tripping, am
story
I?
video than, well,
It says
now.
HD
I mean, it's not like there's ever exactly a good time to make a video about your grandfather being a serial predator.
This
but
video's
hey,
in
this is
four-
probably the closest it'll
it's
be
in,
to
like,
a
360p.
good time.
It's worse than my
I
face
grew up
cam.
never really
No
known
cap.
my dad. He beat the piss out of me pretty badly when I was a baby, so I hear. My mom was actually told that I was never even going to be able to walk, and I would likely be paralyzed. I grew up pretty religiously as well for the first 10 years or so of my life, going to church pretty much almost every Sunday. And you know, God teaches you to love your family. So, when eventually my grandparents reached out to my mom wanting to be in our lives, she was somewhat accepting. Like I said, I never knew my dad, and he was never in my life, but his parents
This man was playing Pokemon Showdown in 5 frames on stream.
wanted to be in mine despite what he had done. Initially, my mom didn't
3 frames.
really want anything to do with them. But after a few years and, you know, being a
New lag is
single
crazy.
mother, he eventually allowed them to send us things through our church. I was about 6. This went on for probably a few years, and my mom had finally decided that they had won her over enough to allow them to meet us. Us being me and my little sister, who is 1 year younger than me. Met them at Chuck E. Cheese, and honestly, I remember it being a blast. I mean, what
Wait.
kid isn't gonna have fun at Chuck E. Cheese? But we got to know them, learned a lot.
Why did his mom not allow him to have contact with his grandparents? Did his mom know something? Something about what was going on here?
About them, and we learned that my grandfather
She was like,
actually a pastor,
maybe-
an active youth pastor at a children's ministry in North Carolina.
Excuse me?
Of course, my mom liked that, and you know, green flags.
That just put a pause
so
on
they
to
began to
everything.
Come around more and more. Not much because they lived in North Carolina, but about once or twice a year we would see them. Typically, we'd only really see them if they were like in town for some church reasons or occasionally family.
Okay, I'm gonna assume the reason why his mom didn't let them have contact in the first few years or whatever is because maybe something happened in her past. She's like, I don't know, man. I don't want my kids to be around them. Then he became a pastor. He's like, oh, I'm a pastor now. Jesus is taking care of me. Then the situation happens.
Reasons, but this arrangement went on for about 7 or 8 years until I was 13 and my sister was about 12. I think I was in 8th grade at the time, and we had concocted this amazing idea to spend our spring break over in North Carolina with our grandparents. You know, really get to know them. Honestly, overall, it was a pretty dope vacation. We saw mountains, I saw oceans, we ate
Bro,
great
I'm definitely
food.
not
It was
tripping.
great
His
all
camera
besides
is
for a few
terrible
red
quality.
flags that at the time seemed minor, but now, you know, I look at it a little differently. It was mostly minuscule, but there's one instance in particular that my mom was particularly concerned about, even at the time. There was one instance where I had mildly, like, upset my grandfather, and he kind of, like, just flipped a switch and turned into a whole new human being for a little while. It's kind of scary. Basically,
How did this dude has $1 million? He has 1 million subs with this camera quality. Does anybody talk about that? I know he's talking about his grandpa and stuff, but This
There was
camera,
this girl
this
that
camera
I
got
knew we were
my.
going to be
It's
meeting
giving
for
me a
some
headache,
reason or
man.
another. I think she was like a step relative on my grandma's side or something along those lines. I'm not
It's
sure, but I
insane.
knew I wasn't related to her, and I knew we were meeting her. And of course, I thought she was cute, so I did what any boy would do at the time with no game. I sent her a Facebook friend request and added her there. I don't know if I thought I would lay on the charm with my Instagram posts like before I met her, but I added her for some reason. Anyways, my grandpa, as old people do, took tons of pictures on this trip and posted them on Facebook. However, there was one particularly bad photo of me that he had posted where I just really didn't like the way I looked. It was an unflattering picture of me, to say the least. I can probably find it, but I knew he had his girl friended and I had her friended, and I didn't want her to see that. I was embarrassed. You know, I'm a young boy in a changing body, and a girl that I knew I was meeting and thought was cute could see this ugly picture of me, so I simply asked him to delete it because I was embarrassed by it. I think a reasonable request.
What
for
did-
a
what did he
insecure
do?
little boy, but not to him apparently.
He basically just got super pissy about it, going like, fine, I
Well, his camera just got like 5 times better in quality. It looks like
guess I'll never get
he wiped the camera off.
pictures of you again.
Yeah, also-
Guess I'll take
Secure little boy, but not to him apparently.
He basically just got super pissy
Sorry if I look different. I took a shower, buddy. You grew a whole beard
about it, going like, fine, I guess
and a
I'll
mustache.
Apparently.
He basically just got super pissy about it, going like, fine, I guess I'll never get pictures of you again.
Did the camera be in that bad quality to have him? It took his beard and mustache away. What?
Yeah, and guess I don't need pictures of my own grandchildren, kind of being a baby about it. But eventually he got over it and we went about our vacation up until the last night there.
Happened on the last night.
I've been making videos for a long time. Pretty much since I was like 5 years old, I've been trying to create content on the internet. And as such, I've become very familiar with the internet and technology at a young age, including internet culture. You'll see why this is important in a minute. It was our final day in North Carolina and we had just gotten back to my grandparents'
That looks insane. All these colored
house from
houses.
the other place we were staying at for a few days. We had our flight back home the next morning pretty early and we had yet to print our tickets. And so my grandfather gave me his phone to do so. I did so without issue and we got our tickets printed to go home. However, you know on phones how you can like swipe up or hit a button and see all of your
Oh,
open
no.
apps that are running in the background and you can swipe up or down to close them? Well, I've always had a habit of doing that. And so without even thinking, I did so on my grandfather's phone, just out of habit. I was habitually swiping up fast and so I closed it quick. But I realized I closed an app that had caught my eye in particular. An app that I thought it to be interesting that my grandpa even had on his phone. I'll give you a few seconds to take a guess as to what app could be so alarming.
Kick.
The app was Kik. Kik Messenger. If you know
How did I know? Hey, bro. This is back in the. I hope this was back in the day. You know, like I think it was what 2014, 15. But it was back around the Rich Homie Quan era. It was back. It was that era back then, 2013 to like 2015 or something. That was Kik's era. But now, Kik is something different.
anything about Kik Messenger or its history, then I'm sure you'll know why this piqued my interest pretty quickly. See, even being 13 at the time, I
Kik used to be like the Snapchat.
knew way
now-
more than I should have about the internet. So
It's
I knew
different.
about Kik. Kik for a long time had been, and still unfortunately is to this day, a clusterfuck of an app, known for
I don't
being
know
the
why it's
go-to
still an app.
messaging service for child predators.
On Kik, users share messages, photos, and videos. You don't have to be friends to connect. Anyone can contact anyone, anonymously. Kik is one of the most popular apps that works this way.
Wait, really? I
And
thought
that's
back
the
then I
problem,
thought you had to be
according to
friends to
police.
contact.
I didn't assume anything at this time, and less alarm bells rang in my head than probably should have, but it was enough to pique my interest, at least a little bit. I mean, come on, maybe Grandpa was in some church group chats. We went about the night as normally as we could, but I decided in my head that when everyone had fell asleep, I was gonna sneak my grandpa's phone and have a look-see as to what he was up to on Kik. Who knows, maybe it really just was a nice church group
What he-
chat,
what he
and it was
got on
my
his
cue to
Kik.
find God again. It was not. For about 3 hours, I just sat on my phone
What was on his
waiting for
Kik?
my opportunity. About 1 a.m., everyone had fallen asleep for a little while. My grandpa had foolishly left his phone
Bro, what's up with this dude? He got one video, one part of the video. He got no beard, no mustache. The camera's in like 140p, blurry as shit. Then the next one, he said, "Sorry, I took a shower." got full beard, mustache. Now he's trimmed up.
phone out on the table.
And this
He
looked like a
also
different-
foolishly didn't
different
have a
angle, too.
password on it. I managed to sneakily grab his phone and then lock myself in the bathroom to begin checking it out.
How
I
he
remember
doing
seeing
that?
his profile first. It was a picture of him in a tie-dye shirt. He went under the name Horny Artist. Needless to say, there were no church group chats, and honestly,
Horny
there was
Artist.
no real good explanation for why he had kicked. Unless you count having terabytes of CP as a good explanation. I wouldn't. I don't think I need to go into detail with what I saw.
Terabytes.
Just know I saw pretty much probably the worst stuff that I probably could have seen. I began scrolling through and there was probably about 50 different individuals my grandfather was trading this nasty stuff with. One of the main people he would converse with on this app was someone named Kat. He had also shared images of my sister with her, as well as pictures of the other step-granddaughter that we had met earlier on this trip. It was all normal pictures, but he just mentioned that we were visiting and that this other granddaughter would be staying with him for a week later that same summer. Now honestly, I wasn't really sure what to do, and I mean, I don't think any 13-year-old would. I didn't want to really record what was on his phone because I didn't want to have CP on my
What
own
the
phone and get in trouble. I made sure to memorize his username and diligently studied his conversation with this cat person. Funny enough, this is how I actually knew how to catch predators on Omegle, is because this cat girl at this time told my grandfather that she uses Omegle to find other predators and kids. Anyways, I'd concocted a plan. We ended up leaving the next day and made it home safely. Right when we got back home, I got right to work. When I got back home, I made a fake Kick profile, pretending to be a 26-year-old girl. And yes, my plan was I was basically
He was gonna message his grandpa.
acting like a fellow predator, 13 years old. I reached out to him telling him I was a friend of this cat girl, and we got to talking. Hey, my friend Kit told me about you. Who? Cat? And? Just Cat. Then he immediately sends a penis picture. No words, just straight dick. You married? I asked. By this point, I could gauge he was a sick fuck
What the
and
fuck?
enjoyed being a sick fuck, so I knew he probably wouldn't have an issue admitting to this.
That man said, yo, my friend Kat told me about you. He said, who, Kat? And just dropped me instantly.
To be honest,
He did not
yes.
ask no
You?
questions.
No, I'm 26. I have a boyfriend though. I mean, this right
What
here.
type of shit is that?
My age was really showing. I said that like a 26-year-old wouldn't be married. That's unreasonable. Like, oh no. It's an open relationship. He doesn't care what I do. Does your wife know? Heck no. Better not get caught. Kissing emoji. I want to suck a dick. Try it. Do you have anyone
Hey, yo.
whose dick you can suck? LOL. Tried mine. I'm just short. LOL. You could always meet with someone. He sends another picture of his pee-pee. What did Kat say? I asked if she knew any hot guys who will send pics, and she gave me you. He then sent me a picture of him holding his wiener with his face in it. Better yet, it also said
Freaky ass grandpa, man.
camera right underneath the image, which on Kick means that was taken alive. Right then, in that moment, while we were texting. Where's your wife? At work. Sneaky. Do you have a friend you can suck off? I think my mindset here was I was just trying to see if you had mentioned anyone that I might have known, or me or my sister or something. I don't know. Not yet. So I pressed some harder, or sign depending on your relationship. I know some people would do stuff with their kids or grandkids. And then unfortunately, I got the response I was looking for. I would. With who? Granddaughter. Zzz. Oh, how old are they? 12. How often do you see them? Then his response to that was a picture of my sister just sitting at the
Excuse me?
beach in her bathing suit. That was a safe for work image. It was like a Facebook image you would find on like a mom's Facebook. But obviously it's pretty disturbing to have seen it being sent around that way. I was honestly
Grandpa!
speechless, so I just responded with I'll send a pic later. He then sent another picture of one of his other step-granddaughters, the one that we had met previously on this trip, who was also around our age. Now that I think about it, me and Grandpa were eyeing the same girl, which was not cool, dude. When
What?
did you see them last?
Wait.
Me and Grandpa were eyeing the same girl, which was not cool,
Oh.
dude. When did you see them last?
That's still crazy. That's insane to say.
They taste good too. Spent a week with first pick, second pick coming for a week, And you didn't try anything? And he just responded with, her brother in the pool too. Rubbing your kitty? Yeah, I am. Nah, see. And I guess I just never seen a vagina in my life or knew how they work. Or probably even talked to a woman at this point in my life.
What the
because
hell?
for some reason, my response to...
Wait,
yeah,
thinking about this right now. How does he have the kick response messages of him texting him exposing his grandpa when he was 13? He looks to be like 20 something. How does he got the messages?
playing with my kitty, can you see? My response was, send a pic when I'm not around people. Who's there? I'm in a car with my friends and mom. I guess the girl I was pretending to be was a freak. I really don't know how he didn't get skeptical at this point, but hey, I wasn't a professional at this time yet. Okay,
something ain't
I was
adding up.
13. He sent another pee-pee picture. You play with Kat? Not yet. Just started this account yesterday. Send you one of her sucking me when I see your pics. I love young. Okay.
Wait.
Wasn't a professional at this time yet. Okay, I was 13. He sent another pee-pee picture. You play with Kat? Not yet. Just started this account yesterday. Send you one of her sucking me when I see your pics. I love young.
Send him a who, her sucking, a who of what, sucking what?
Congrats.
I love you.
Okay, I'll trade. He sent 2 more pee-pee pictures and an image of a girl, clearly not 18. At this point, I just decided to leave our conversation alone, as I had pretty much got all that I felt that I needed from him, and he had pretty heavily incriminated himself already at this point. So, naturally, I felt like I had seen enough of Grandpa for the day, and I just left him alone. And before I even went to the police or even told my own mom, I wanted to make people around him aware, so I messaged the mother of the other granddaughter. Excuse me, but do you have a moment to spare? It could involve your daughter. Yes? Now honestly, I didn't think she would take me seriously because I was a literal kid myself at the time, so I lied to her a little bit. I'm an online vigilante who catches pedophiles and stops them before they do.
Wait, he actually, this actually is, he has footage of it. This is 2017. He looked probably about 20 now. Wait, 2017, 18, 2019. 13 plus 7. The math is adding up. 13 plus 7 is 20 years. And I said he looked probably about 20 years old.
Do anything to harm anyone. Unfortunately, I have hard evidence of Tom
See, I'm
Kinsley
20. I got
saying
full
and
beard
sending
too. He
very
look
illegal
about
things.
20.
I would keep your daughter away from him as well. And might I say, that message was June 9th of 2017. And what a crazy foreshadow, because here I am 8 years later. This was basically my destiny, you know? Basically, I created a fake profile pretending to be a 26-year-old girl to get proof of him admitting to things he wants to do to your daughter, his other granddaughter, and other kids. And inevitably, this got the ball rolling. And he then pretty swiftly underwent FBI investigation and was arrested and charged with indecent liberties with a minor, as well as 5 counts of second-degree sexual exploitation of a minor. Unfortunately, he bitched out like the coward we all know these child predators are, and on June 17th, 2017, took his own life in his jail cell. Hopefully this gives you all some more insight in regards to why I do what I do and the content style that
That was your man. That was your grandpa.
I make. Views and shit are obviously cool and all, but this style of content has always had a deeper and more personal
He just put this music on like we ain't just hear this story about his grandpa. Yo, gang, you can't put this music on after what just happened.
meaning to me. Thank you guys so much for 1 million. That's literally my childhood dream, and I hope you guys continue to support me in the future.
This is his 1 million subscriber special. All right, man. I guess this is Oma, how he called his own grandpa. This is an insane 1 million subscriber special. I don't think I've ever seen anything this crazy, especially about his own man's as his 1 million subscriber special. It's crazy. The video will be linked in the description if you want to watch it yourself. But I'm not gonna lie, you already watched my whole video if you're here.
have a lot of crazy videos coming up.
So if you did watch my whole video, come follow my Twitch.